Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Merci pour l'invitation d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. The people who work at Canada's hotels are just like every other Canadian. We want to get back to normal as soon as possible. But our industry is unique. We are in the business of bringing people together face to face at conventions, weddings, or just visiting family. And that's simply not possible right away. For our sector, the end of this pandemic will not happen quickly with the flip of a switch. We continue to face a balancing act. On the positive side, a potential recovery is on the horizon with vaccines underway that could lead to a possible domestic tourism recovery for some segments such as resorts this summer. In this scenario, if we get most Canadians vaccinated by June, the government will need to pivot quickly to allow for a safe reopening and invest in stimulating our recovery to maximize the summer tourism season. But the reality is, right now we find ourselves in a third wave. People are encouraged to stay home, domestic and international borders remain closed, and mass gathering bans are still in place. Unfortunately, what this means is it is very likely that we will lose the most important season for our industry again in 2021. In this scenario, where restrictions are still necessary for the summer, the government will need to provide financial support for the tourism and hospitality sectors to survive until a recovery is possible. While most other sectors can bounce back quickly, once restrictions are lifted, we cannot. Business travel will take time to pick up. International visitors come mostly in the summer, not the fall or the winter. The conferences and events that drive our business in the off-season take months of planning and lead time. Most festival and event organizers have been forced to cancel any planned activities for this summer and fall. The challenges we expect to encounter until the end of 2021 are not the result of individual business decisions. They are the result of the final stages of this pandemic. We have every confidence that once COVID is completely behind us, Canadian tourism will rebound and conventions and major events will resume. But that recovery will be further down the road for us and certainly won't be happening in a meaningful way this summer. Until a recovery is possible for seasonal and events-based businesses, the wage and rent subsidy programs will remain a lifeline for hotels. As other sectors bounce back quickly after June, it is both prudent and practical for the government to tailor these support programs to sustain those industries most affected by the pandemic. Our member survey from March showed that 70% of Canadian hotels will go out of business without an extension of the Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy and the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy to the end of the year. Simply put, if the government does not extend these programs past June, we will lose major segments of the hotel industry. The government deserves credit for rolling out these programs quickly and for providing tailored debt solutions to the hardest hit. These programs are the reason we still have an industry today. But our members are reeling from the worst year in their history and facing the second worst year in 2021, with very little hope that we will have a summer season. Now is not the time to pull away from the sectors that will lag behind through no fault of their own. We heard a strong commitment to support the hardest hit businesses in the speech from the throne and the fall economic statement. In the upcoming federal budget, we need to hear a clear commitment that the government will support our sector through to the end of the pandemic and the end of 2021. Specifically, we need to see an extension and enhancement of queues at 75%, targeting hard-hit industries until the end of 2021, and an extension and enhancement of the CERS program for hard-hit businesses, including deeper support for medium-sized businesses. That commitment in the budget would give our businesses the confidence and predictability they need to get to the other side. Canadians want to and will travel again. And when the time comes, Canada's hotels will be ready. We have invested in an industry-wide enhanced standard of health and safety protocols and remain committed to the health and safety of our guests and employees. We are ready to continue supporting essential travel, hosting events, hockey tournaments, and weddings. And we are ready to welcome back guests when restrictions are lifted. But without continued government support and tailored relief measures, many hard-hit businesses like ours will fail. That means long-term unemployment and lost capacity for the anchor businesses like hotels that enable tourism here in Canada the most beautiful country in the world. Thank you.